Yeah.
This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Bro, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Yeah.
Charmander. Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what it means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1, 5, 8, 6 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down to dunk and get The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I am Luke, joined this morning by Andrew.
But I got to say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool.
Slam through.
Tyler.
Trade me. Trade me, my friend. Trade me.
Slam through.
And Jay.
It's Jay. The trade deadline is come and gone, my dude.
Oh, what a deadline it was.
What a week. Deadline.
What a week.
Andrew said something.
Jeez.
Andrew said something.
Not yet.
Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
He sure hasn't said much yet.
Yeah, he is sitting in silence today. He said that the largest trade acquisition that will take place this trade deadline was the Thunder getting Chet Holmgren. And although I probably disagree based on one trade, it did get dropped by former friend of the pod, Shams.
Enemy of the pod.
Enemy of the pod now. Has he always been an enemy?
No.
Okay.
Why is he an enemy, though?
Because he works with a rival.
Works for the mothership.
Yeah,
he works for the mothership.
Duh.
One, Chet Holmgren is back, baby.
Welcome back.
It's crazy. Like when you looked at the timeline, you thought, okay, maybe it's possible that he's back here. But you also think, okay, it's so close to the All-Star break that they might just wait. I don't know what they were going to do, but it shows that he's 100%. Like he's been at practice. He's been in good spirits for a long time, really, and is like just itching to get back on the court. You could kind of see him on the bench, even through the TV, that he was you could just tell there was something different about him on Wednesday. The way that he was
ready.
Yeah,
so
that's
happy.
a good point. That's a good point.
And I just thought, okay, like he's got to be getting close, but we're still probably weeks away.
I said last Friday on this podcast in an incredibly uneducated take that, I bet Chet could actually come back like now.
He honestly, like that may have been true. Like if it was the playoffs and they were if they had to have him back, he probably could have played.
Every once in a while, man, you throw out just a random, completely unfactual take. Exactly. You throw enough things at the wall, some things eventually stick. But Chet is back.
Hire us, ESPN.
Playing tonight against the Toronto Raptors here in Oklahoma City. I do think a question that must be asked is, what is the starting lineup?
I have a question as well.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Luke's question.
Is there going to be a minutes restriction?
I don't think so.
Luke, you're the one who informed us last week. They don't do minutes restrictions.
I want to be right.
I mean,
I want to be right.
If you're the Thunder and you have a starting caliber center on your roster already, I mean, I think that you would want to ease him back in. But again, I don't know. I don't know what he'll look like. I've never In fact, I've never watched an NBA player come back from this injury before.
When'd you last get a haircut?
He got one
sweet
recently.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Boom.
Tuesday.
It looks good, bro.
Looks good, man.
Did you have somebody come over here to do it?
Thanks, brother. We have our friend Kat Wilson. Shout out Kat Wilson.
Cat Williams. Yeah.
Kat Williams comes over and cuts all of our hair. No, our good friend comes over. It's great. Anyways, I don't know if there'll be a minutes restriction. I honestly don't know what the starting lineup could be. You could talk me into a lot of things. Cason Wallace is out tonight still, and so
I don't know why you wouldn't just do Chet at the 4.
Yeah,
iHeart at the 5, especially home. Chet's first game back Friday night in the big town.
I mean, I think the only other thing is that maybe iHeart comes off the bench.
I don't know, man.
No, I'm with Jay. What if you build the anticipation and excitement by starting the game with iHeart? They're destroying, or maybe they're starting to lose, and then Chet gets up off the bench. Yeah,
I'm just kind of anticipating
He's dressed in street clothes, but then rips them off.
Oh yeah,
Like
that
Superman.
they should have done that.
Or they get the quick change people to help him out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and he comes
the
out at halftime.
The problem with that is everybody knows he's playing,
Oh.
and if they saw him in street clothes tonight, like
It'd be
sitting on
like
the
the
bench, they'd be
most-
like, wait a minute,
But some people wouldn't. Like
what happened?
little kids. might
Definitely.
not.
There's some people that had no idea Chet's playing.
Yeah, they go. They won't know.
I mean, maybe people. I mean, I was sitting in the waiting room for physical therapy the other day. It was me and an older lady and this older gentleman who typically don't look like they know anything.
Friends of
about
the pod?
NBA. Not
Dunkers.
I don't believe that they're dunkers. My friend Rick took me to physical therapy, and we're sitting there, and he's like, "Well, what do you think about the Kevin Durant thing?" And then the guy, I proceed to have a conversation about the trade deadline with probably this 80-year-old woman, this 80-year-old man, and they knew everything. She was like, I actually heard that he may not want to go back to Golden State. I was like,
So,
what's happening here?
Is there?
So I'm telling you that people just know more than you think.
I had this kind of thought on Wednesday night watching that Suns just dismantling in the third quarter.
Yeah.
I remember thinking when this team kind of started, this second iteration of the Thunder, that I was like, there's no way that the affection that we had for that first crew will be matched by this second crew. And I think it's still early, but I think it may have surpassed the affection we had for the first crew.
Yeah, I agree. I think
especially just with the vibes, Luke.
The vibes are better.
Perfect.
They've been better for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. If we get a couple more playoff runs out of this crew, it's over.
Well, if we get
it's
a
over for you,
championship.
Russ and KD. You're long gone. You're history. Hey, the Chet news dropping.
Good job. Way to pivot.
Thursday morning when we had some Thunder fans that were hankering for a trade, thinking they were just bored, I guess, thinking we needed to trade for someone. But then they dropped the news. No, Chet's back, actually. No, we don't. Everyone's happy. Now we don't have anyone complaining about
Not everybody.
Well, most.
Who's unhappy?
Just somebody. There's always somebody.
Somebody.
Jay's right. Someone's still unhappy.
There's always some. Just check them comments on YouTube. There'll be somebody that thinks they should have done
Chet
something.
coming back is still not enough.
All these other teams got better,
and we stayed the same.
That's the thing is like the Thunder are getting better though.
They are getting better.
True.
We haven't even seen what we did in the
guys.
offseason.
Hey.
So I was talking. What?
Who won the belt though?
What is happening?
You just bring that up because you won the belt.
I know.
That was
I know.
You could have said upwards of 20-point victory against the Bucks and still been correct. That was one of the worst teams that a team has put on the floor.
Here's the deal. I just believed
It was over. Like that. I mean, it could have been the first forfeit.
As soon as I saw the injury report, I was like, well,
They just started dropping like flies throughout the day.
it's like, oh yeah, Giannis is going to sit. Chris Middleton's out.
Yeah.
Dame's out.
Just like, yeah, I mean,
Brooke Lopez is out.
yeah. Yeah, that was brutal.
And then the Suns game this week as well was like, oh, Bradley Bill's going to prove his value in the first half.
You're like, man, what's going on here?
And then the third quarter was just a clinic.
It was. I mean, the whole first half, you're just asking yourself the question, like, when are they going to play defense?
Yeah.
It was a game.
Like, what are they? When are they going to actually play the way we know they can on defense, and then they did. in the
Well,
third quarter.
Royce O'Neal starts 5 of 5 from the 3-point line, and you're like, well, I don't think that'll sustain. I don't think he's going to shoot 100%.
Yeah, and it's just
and it didn't.
Yeah, and they also just weren't applying a lot of pressure on the Suns. It was, I mean, they were playing to their opponent a little bit, and then the third quarter they stopped doing that.
Well, we're a third and fourth quarter team. We're a second half team. That's what we are. And we're not afraid in the third and fourth quarter to kick the crap out of some people.
Let's give a prediction for the starting lineup. Zach Vobernick wants to know: are we going Chettenstein?
I think so.
Yes, feels right.
So So who starts tonight?
Daniel Tice,
Shea, Dub, Dort, Chet, Highheart.
Okay, there you go.
I'm Team J on that. He's right.
We've been mentioning that this team needs a 4 that can stretch, and it just so happens
that we got one.
That we got one at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I am curious to see what that looks like with him at the 4. Again, like I've not seen an NBA player come back from this injury, so I'm just curious what his mobility looks like.
I just was watching. So Chet put out multiple videos. I think an Instagram one, and then he put one on YouTube as well. And I watched the YouTube one. It's just, slightly extended. And it showed, and I don't know when this was. Was it 3 weeks ago where he was doing like contact drills?
Yeah.
Like legit practicing, high energy, flying all over the place. Like,
yeah,
trying to get his it looked like he was trying to up his stamina in preparation for returning. I actually think he'll be further along than we anticipate.
I feel like
that's probably true.
I feel like Chet feels pretty confident.
Yeah, that's
with the way he's announced this return
for sure.
He's not going to come back and be like, "Oh yeah, that was 10 minutes."
Yeah, no, he's ready.
He's going to come back.
Hey, you don't release a video that says I'm back.
Yeah, he'll play 20 plus minutes tonight.
He's calling
maybe 48.
He's calling his shot, and he's going to be. It's going to be big. I feel like.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me the most excited about this weekend is not tonight. Tonight's cool.
You got a date with your wife?
No.
Oh wow.
But tomorrow,
Saturday
night, depending on when you listen to this, Saturday night, the Thunder are playing the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
In Memphis.
Hopefully they'll actually play all their guys.
Who, Memphis?
They've just been, it's Ja in and out of the lineup all the time. I don't know. They've just have had a weird season with who they play. I just hope we get like full squads against each other.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Grizzlies are 9-1 in the last 10. The only tied, the best record of the last 10 in the entire NBA is the Grizzlies and the
Thunder.
Trailblazers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's the Blazers.
9-1, 6 straight. Their only loss in the last 10 is against the Thunder.
Wow.
Nice.
That's been weird. I would be so mad if I was a Blazers fan. Like, what are we doing here?
Right. We're trying to tank here, boys.
Because they're not making the play in. Like, they're just not. Like, that's not happening.
Yeah, but it's a nice feel good mid-season little thing for him, you know?
Yeah, it's a little sign of hope.
Yeah, let them have their fun.
No, guys.
It's a little.
Have you forgotten?
It's a little
No,
it's a little foreshadowing.
I have not. They need to lose them all.
Oh my god!
I would start everybody on that team would start having just injuries.
Yeah. What's going on here? Okay, so I asked this question on our athletic live stream yesterday, but right now you have the Wolves, Clippers, Mavericks, Suns, Kings, Warriors, and Spurs all fighting to be in the play-in. Literally 3 of those teams will make the playoffs. Only 3. And then we're talking about 4 of those teams do not make the playoffs. 4 out of Spurs, Warriors, Kings, Suns, Mavs, Clippers, Timberwolves. 4 will not make it.
I'll take Sacramento out.
Who are the 4 that do not make the playoffs in the Western Conference?
Phoenix and Sacramento's the easy out, and then Phoenix,
Okay.
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Yeah. So we need one more.
I would have to say the best story would be the Mavericks.
I mean, that would be amazing. That would be unbelievable if they.
So so that's the question. Who do you trust more to get into the play-in? The Warriors now with Jimmy Butler. The Mavericks now with Anthony Davis. Although Mavericks got a great win against Boston last night.
Yeah, they did. God, Boston's been so weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
They played awful.
They're just matching the vibe of their coach.
Golly.
This Mavs team, I think, still have some guys, you know.
The Clippers it felt like we're trending in the right direction, but have lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, they lost 3 in a row. I mean, the Spurs have Fox.
Yeah.
Like that's not an easy. Like they're going to be good now, and like the way that it was explained to me yesterday, Matthew Tynan, who covers the Spurs, was like, with Fox on this team now, you can slide everybody back into a position that they're more comfortable in. Like everybody was playing up, and they were playing had to play to a level that they can't really play to, and now you can move everybody back to a more comfortable position. And like I think the Spurs could go on a run.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like the Spurs making it and the Clippers out.
I mean, if we're talking dream scenario for a Thunder fan,
Clippers out, Mavs out.
Get the Clippers and Mavs and Suns out.
Oh, it's great.
Wouldn't that be so funny? Okay, Clippers, Mavs, Suns, and Warriors could all miss the playoffs.
I feel like the Warriors will make it.
That would be glorious.
Although they didn't have their team. But
the funny thing is, though, like the play-in has tricked our brains, though. Because we just think about them just getting into 10. Only 2 of those 4 teams make it to the actual playoff.
Yeah.
So like our brains are being tricked. And honestly, like the play-in has worked because who made all the trades? It's the teams here trying to get into the 10th spot.
Yeah.
Like the play-in has absolutely worked, especially in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
So if you looked at it, and so who are the teams that we just said we think will be in? Let's just say San Antonio, Golden State,
Wolves.
But Wolves are in 6 right now.
Yeah.
Right. But we were saying they're all fighting.
They're in the they're
on the fringe.
They're only a half game.
Yeah,
ahead.
for sure.
They're on the fringe.
I still think the Clippers will probably make it.
So Clippers, let's give our best guess on who the 4 play-in is, which I know is kind of what we're doing. But let's make like a solid list. Clippers, Warriors. I'll take the Spurs. That's fine. And I think probably still the Mavericks.
I think the Mavs still make it.
Yeah.
So that puts 4 of those teams in there. Who are you going to take in games between those 4? Like just for kicks and giggles. Say it's the Clippers versus the Mavs in 7-8, and then it's the Spurs and Warriors in 9-10. So 9-10, one single game elimination.
So
you
awesome.
taking Wemby, you taking Steph.
I would take Jimmy and Steph.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
then you're
how
looking at
cool would it be if they lost?
It'd be amazing. It'd be
so
hilarious.
Clippers, Mavericks. Who you
They
taking?
just extended him.
I know.
I would take the Mavericks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you got the Mavericks automatically in the 7 seed.
And that's definitely what you want.
And then you have the Clippers playing the Warriors for the 8 seed.
God. That's the thing is like I don't know that we're getting a Pelicans first round opponent
No.
this season.
We're
That's
getting
all right.
a toughie.
The Thunder currently have a win differential 13 points.
Yeah.
They are still, as a net rating, the best in the history of this statistic, basically, in modern NBA.
Yeah.
I just am past the point of thinking, like, at some point, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Dog.
I think even for us as Thunder fans, we're working really hard to kind of like stymie our own expectations for this team.
Yeah.
Stymie.
They are elite.
We are
elite.
We're in this weird spot in the NBA, and we reach this point like every decade or so where we're trying to
stymie.
You can't get your brain past the names that are on some of these teams.
Yep.
And the names that are on some of these younger teams, I would say even the top 4 teams, probably minus the Nuggets, just because they've already done it. but like your brain can't get there yet until you actually see it happen.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people feel that way about the Thunder because there were people talking all over the country yesterday about how teams aren't afraid of the Thunder. Who cares? They're going to go, they're loading up.
That's what I was.
They can beat the Thunder. And I think that people just, no one can get their brains there yet because the Thunder haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Well, it feels similar. If you remember a lot of the narrative leading up to and through the NBA championship last year with Boston is after they basically just ran through the playoffs. I mean, what did they lose? One game in the finals to the Mavericks? Or did they sweep?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
The finals with Boston.
They lost one.
It was a
gentleman's
sweep. Yeah.
And afterwards, everybody's like, well, we probably shouldn't have really doubted Boston. If you look at their net rating, if you look at the way they played, they were clearly the best team in the NBA all season, and we just weren't really paying attention to it, or we were waiting for them to prove it. And that's how I feel like it's going to play out for the Thunder. It's like, well, I guess we should have maybe assumed that their ridiculous net rating or best defense of the last 25 years, all those things probably were real.
Yeah.
Well, this is when the guys on our team have to make that name for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, we're not, respect is earned, and that this is how we're gonna have to do it. No one's gonna say, well, they got the best net rating, and so we gotta respect those numbers. But that's only like a certain type of fan is looking at that,
and it doesn't matter in the playoffs. And to be honest, if you're talking about my brain can't get past names or whatever, my brain can't get past being scared of Dallas. Still, Dallas has had our number. Still, we just have to accept it.
Yeah, but
they beat us in the playoffs in this regular season. They've had their guys injured, and they've still come out with wins.
But now it's a new look Dallas. It's a completely different team. Like Alex was saying, that was not the team that beat us. Well, this next time we play them, it's a whole new ballgame.
And now we have Chet and Ihart.
Yeah.
And Caruso.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have those guys in the series. They haven't had them when they played them this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I also think that
the Mavericks, to be fair, didn't have Luka Doncic.
Well, they don't.
Oh, that's right.
Now.
Yeah, sorry.
So, and they don't now.
Make sure we remember that.
The way that I would look at it, though, is like that series is closer than anybody wants to remember. They literally had the exact same amount of points at the end of that series.
Yeah, one foul, game 6,
and
they're back here for the game 7.
The difference in games like that are the superstars in the final like closing minutes, and Luka and Kyrie just made plays. Like they made plays for their teammates a lot of times in the corner, and without like who's their second best playmaker now? Because I think like that was
Dinwiddie,
a huge part of what they did, and now you take that off the court, and in crunch time, like Anthony Davis is not going to be bringing the ball up the court making decisions. Like he's needed somebody to help set him up.
He's going to be hurt,
and so and he's probably not playing anyways. Yeah, I mean, I just think I'm not that scared of them. I mean, where's your guys' fear level for the Los Angeles Lakers now that they have Luka and LeBron and like?
So that is a question. It's actually a question my son posed to me yesterday. He was just like, "Who's the second best team in the West now?" Which I would frame it even different from second best team in the West, and I would say, "Who do you think is who? Who are you the most? Who would you be the most concerned about?" I think
let's do a fear meter.
Fear meter
for the Thunder.
Fear meter. I mean, the Lakers are scary now to me, and that Mark Williams pickup is good too.
Yeah, the dude's played roughly about 30% of his games in the NBA.
But when he plays, he was good.
He's giant.
Yeah, he's massive.
I kind of want to see what it like. Do we play them again?
Yeah,
I want to see. I want to see what that looks like because LeBron and Luka both need the ball a lot. I feel like, and I want to see that.
They're
also both
basically the same player,
and they're incredibly elite at getting other guys open.
Mm-hmm.
They are very thin.
Yeah.
Well, most of the
thick thin.
Yeah,
they're thick thin.
The players are thick. The roster's thin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just am like, once you get past their top 3 or 4 guys, because they've got a starting lineup now: Mark Williams, Rui, Austin Reeves, Luka, and LeBron at some point, right?
It's pretty solid.
It's a solid 5.
Pretty good. It's pretty
good.
I also want to see what I want to see what their offense looks like. I also want to see what their defense looks like.
Yeah, I think the defense could be rough.
I'm not. My fear meter is like, ooh.
But is that your number 1 on your fear meter?
No, I still have Denver.
Really?
Yeah.
Denver's still number 1 on fear meter.
Because Jokic.
think they have the best player in the world.
You know what?
Chet just plays really well against him, though.
Hey, listen, the Thunder have been head and shoulders above everyone in the NBA.
You know what I'm thinking we could do? Maybe we make a T-shirt or like a just full brand of clothing. No fear.
Oh, I like it. And it can be like two eyes.
Two eyes. They're looking at you.
Yeah.
You
fear.
You could create like all sorts of graphics around that idea.
Yeah.
Man.
Like varying versions of how you have no fear.
What if, and then I've also been working on this time machine.
Go back to like 96, 95.
I did create the no fear.
You're the
owner, and I did.
He did.
How much do you think
based on this conversation?
So how much do you think?
The future and then the past.
How much do you think the creator of like No Fear, Stussy
on it,
Massimo?
Oh, Stussy is
like they had like
still going.
Massimo's a rich man.
They had what like a 4-year run.
Yeah,
and then disappeared.
Massimo's still on Target.
Stussy,
I was gonna say Massimo.
I thought Stussy was still on Target.
Massimo's still on Target.
No, Stussy is still.
So they must have sold at some point.
Are these all and Massimo's the man's last name? Is Stussy the man's last name?
I don't know, but I'm looking up No Fear
guy.
No Fear.
No Fear man.
No Fear man.
Yeah, I would probably put it Denver, and then the Lakers.
Because you talk about stars, right? Stars. That's best player in the series, best player in the series, and I think that's probably appropriate to why you put those two teams up there. Not appropriate, but right.
Yeah, I mean those two teams, but also, again, it's tough to put together a team. I mean, the Lakers are a completely new team, and then like get it right immediately. Also, like their defense is going to be it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it because Mark Williams he's a giant player, yes, but teams have shot when he's played this season 68% at the rim on him.
Yeah, Tim McMahon was mentioning that this morning on the Hoop Collective or last night on the Hoop Collective, and one of the things he brought to the attention of the podcast, I think is appropriate. I've said appropriate twice, and it doesn't even fit.
That's okay. It seems
which makes sense. Seems appropriate.
It's appropriate.
But he just talked about the fact that like Charlotte is just one of those teams where it's like what numbers really matter for them.
I mean, sure. There's been good and bad guys that have been traded out of Charlotte to other teams.
We had one of those experiences. Do you remember that? A guy that came out of Charlotte that was not better on the other side.
He was so bad. Gordo.
You remember that?
It was a bad experience. I think that
I actually forgot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
it's very forgettable.
It's just tough, and you still have a rookie head coach too, that's trying to put this all together. I think it's just it's a lot to ask the Lakers to have this all ready to go. But
who's on their bench? Max Christie.
Max Christie's on the
He's gone.
Nope.
Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent is the one I'm thinking of. Jackson Hayes.
Shake Milton.
That's
about it.
Like, I know that your lineups get shorter in the playoffs, but I mean, that's the bench.
Jared Vanderbilt.
The on-off numbers are going to be a little bit of a
Rui. Bronny.
Well, Rui's going to start, isn't he?
And they're going to be a destination for teams in the buyout market. Like I could see Marcus Smart going to the Lakers.
I don't think Rui starts. I don't know.
You don't think Rui starts?
I mean, I think they got to start somebody that can shoot the three. Finney Smith.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dorian Finney-Smith.
Guys, I did some Stussy research.
All right, good.
Started by Sean Stussy.
Okay.
And then it says the Sinatra family owns the Stussy brand after Sean resigned as president. 2015 brand had revenue $50 million. In 2023, brand revenue from its website alone, guess how many?
I don't know.
66 million.
Seriously?
Stussy still got it.
I was telling you, Stussy's still rocking and rolling, dude.
Wow. Speaking of rocking and rolling, did you see this picture of Shea that he posted on his Instagram last night?
Oh yeah, baby. It's a good picture.
He's
playing guitar.
He's playing a bass guitar. Dang. And I asked people to give the best band name for Shea. And I said I would read them on the show. So this one comes from D-Tally Live. Has D-Tally Live been like asking Twitter questions? Because this is like one of like the OG.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think so.
He's an OG.
I feel like I haven't heard from him in a while. He said the Step Backstreet Boys.
That's such a good one. Good.
Chuggy Martinez said Shadio Head.
I like Radiohead.
At
good too.
Thunder_Jedi said Himmy Eat World. At Thunder,
This is so good.
Thunder Fan in NC says the Insane Clown Posse.
Okay, I'm in that.
That's pretty good too.
And the Alabama Shakes.
Mm.
I still like that one.
The tweets of Todd Shaking Back Sunday. Ernie V75. This one is not one of them. Just this is like a totally made up one from him. But 50 Burger Wednesdays, just because he's been only getting 50 points on Wednesdays.
Yeah, 50 Burger Wednesdays.
Sounds like some kind of
Sounds like a Bowling for Soup band.
Then at Alex Bowler Jack, Shania Twain.
These are all good.
So
I like it.
Good job,
I
everybody.
feel like we should have put like a tournament together of all
We should
those.
also,
Some good ones.
we should also props to Andrew for asking good questions, setting these guys up.
Yep.
Alley-oop.
Boom.
Okay. Anything else that we want to talk about? What about the trade deadline in general? Like, what do we think about the deals that were made yesterday?
I thought he was gonna end up somewhere, man.
God, that is still like probably the biggest like lingering thing that happened yesterday. Like outside of De'Aaron Fox, outside of Luka, is like the whole KD thing and the way that it unfolded and then completely folded back up, because he apparently was not happy about the way that he was being shopped. And I do not think you can put the toothpaste back in the tube. This one.
Not with him. No way.
And so you have to, I mean, this will linger into the summer. My guess is that he will not play for the Phoenix Suns past this year. My guess is also that why am I going to exert so much effort right now for the Phoenix Suns?
Exactly.
And I would bet against Phoenix making even the play in at this point, just because of how difficult the race is going to be, but also just because, I mean,
he's going to be checked out and grumpy.
Yeah, the locker room has been described by many people as toxic.
Ooh.
And so they have completely messed things up. And I'm just curious to see what that looks like. And that to me is probably the team to watch this summer.
Yeah.
Is the Phoenix
I just don't
Suns.
think they have the fortitude to do what is necessary to get out of this.
I know.
No,
Yeah.
that owner was just swinging for the fences, and now it takes those owners, I don't know how many times to fail before they actually learn and hire actual GMs.
Yeah, but yeah, James Jones. It's funny because like sometimes these guys can put together
Former
a good
executive of the
roster,
year.
and then exactly, and then things. I mean, Masai is another one of those guys who put together a championship roster. In
Dude,
Toronto.
he just kicked his feet up.
You know what? I think the more I've thought about it, I think he's the same guy. He's been the same guy the whole time, because you know what he does? He buys low. He buys low on every player. He bought low on Kawhi, and it just happened to work.
Right.
Everybody else has been buy low. RJ Barrett, buy low. This trade deadline,
Brandon Ingram,
buy low. Like that's all that he's done this whole time, and he's consistently done it. It just happened to work one time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's all you need.
That's all you need.
You know, hey,
I mean, it's
he got a championship.
He got a championship, and he's got millions of dollars coming in every year. And he's just, I mean, even Kelly Olynyk last year at the deadline, buy low. I mean,
it doesn't matter who it is,
No.
as long as you buy low.
The dude is going to buy low on anybody.
We've done our share of buying low.
Yeah, but it feels like to Andrew's point, when we do that, it feels like there's more thoughtful strategy behind it.
We've also sold high.
We've sold high.
We sold high.
We have.
We have sold high.
We bought Chris Paul low,
and
then we sold CP3. No, we sold Paul George. High.
Sold high.
That's a good point. You do have to have the other side of the coin for it to be a successful strategy.
He hasn't got the sell high.
No,
yet.
he hasn't sold high.
It's
He's
harder.
cashed out once.
Yeah.
He's cashed out once, but he hasn't put himself in a position to keep playing the game.
Yeah. It's just funny. People, part of me is like, you know what? Why are we criticizing him now? He's just the same guy.
You're right.
Just a buy low, man.
The saddest trade from yesterday was the Kyle Kuzma for Chris Middleton.
That's depressing. That's like one of those like you put yourself in a Bucks fan's shoes, and you're just like, man, that's just depressing.
Yeah.
Most confusing team from yesterday was the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I thought, okay, well, they're making a decision to kind of pull back and fall into the lottery. But then I was like, oh, the Spurs have their pick.
Yeah, they don't even have their pick.
So what are they doing? Why trade DeAndre Hunter? Because you don't want to pay him?
I mean, I don't think that he's expiring super soon.
No, I think he's in year 2.
I mean,
of his contract.
I don't get it. They have been trying to trade DeAndre Hunter.
They're just big Karis LeVert fans.
Karis LeVert has had a good season.
Really excited about George's Niang.
He's a good player. The minivan will get some shots there. I don't know.
The minivan.
Yeah, I mean Hunter.
I love it for the Cavs.
He's an interesting player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 3 more years left.
Yeah,
or I guess 2 after this. The thing about him, though, that is interesting is like he doesn't pass the ball. You know, he plays 30 minutes a game. He averages 1.5 assists.
Yeah, what was his? He had a stat line the other day where he had 0 across the board
He's
except
not-
for points.
Yeah, he's not a good rebounder. He's big. He's 6'8", 230, but he averages like 3 rebounds a game. It's like he's not like some perfect player.
No. But he's a scorer. Is it an upgrade from LeVert because okay, maybe you can still get this scoring X factor in the playoffs, and he's a better defender than LeVert.
I mean,
Yeah, they're betting on him being their 3-and-D guy.
it could, yeah, it very well could be. It very well could be. But again, LeVert's had a nice season off the bench for them, and like is one of like he averages 4 assists a game.
Yeah.
You know, they need some they need extra facilitators that they don't have. And so I'm just holding back a little bit before I'm just like calling that like such a huge win for them because LeVert was average. I mean, he was shooting 40% from 3 too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been a great scorer off the bench for them.
And
Taylor,
he plays a smaller role as well. And it's hard on those teams that are stacked like that. Like if you take a lesser role, which Hunter might have to.
I'm going to ask a question from yesterday,
Jailer,
and let's see if we can do this. And Andrew, you probably have this information. What was Dennis Schroeder's last 2 days like? Where did he go?
Oh, I just saw where he was. Oh, he's with Lindy Waters in Detroit now.
Detroit.
Yeah.
How did he get to Detroit? From the Warriors to Miami?
To Utah.
Okay, so he never went to Miami. So Warriors, Utah, Pistons.
To Pistons. I think it would be hilarious if they were like, the only way these deals can actually happen is if you actually go to the location.
Yeah, you have to put your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
You have to get there.
Feet on the ground in Salt Lake,
Get up.
and then you can go to Detroit.
And he started this season in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
Yeah. That's like a very get him to the Greek type movie.
Yeah.
We gotta get him to Miami. We gotta get there's like, get back on that plane.
It was really funny yesterday on the live stream. Esper Henny got Centelled during the live stream.
Yeah, I hate that.
They put out there that Dennis Schroeder has retired from the NBA.
Oh, he got sent out. You gotta watch out. We've all been there.
It was so funny. But it felt believable because he had those quotes earlier in the week where he was comparing trades to slavery and like all this stuff. And it just felt like he is like sick of it. And you know, then to be traded to Detroit, like if it is one of those like believable ones that I'm sure that he's not the only one that got Centelled.
That's how Centel gets you.
They're great.
They're very, very good. I saw
good. Got me on
I
a
saw
Zion
Bill
one.
Simmons talking about Centel. Like,
yeah,
it's like he's been Centelled.
They're great.
Yeah,
they did a great job on that one.
Centel. The thing about Centel is they get like Twitter will send me like notifications that pop on my phone, and it's NBA Centel. And I was like, we've tricked Twitter.
I know.
It's tough.
It's pretty awesome.
That is tough.
It actually kind of rocks.
Putting yourself in Dennis's head too. It does make sense that he would retire because if you're Dennis, man, and you're like, I am good enough to not be treated this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like just good enough and productive enough in the league to not be treated this way.
Where did Dennis Schroeder start this season?
Brooklyn. I just said that.
Was he not in Toronto first?
No, he was at Brooklyn. Well, was he? Let's look it up. I thought he was with Brooklyn. he was so bad with Golden State, though. I actually think that he's only good on every other team.
Oh,
he's on.
okay.
And so Detroit's about to get a good version.
No,
of Dennis Schroeder.
did it actually pass over? Should it have been in Utah?
That's a good question. You know what? We're waiting to see.
Yeah,
Does he have to wear the jersey for it to count?
Because I don't know. Think good, bad at Golden State, good at Miami, bad at Utah. Good, like, is it gonna bounce around?
Right.
Yeah.
Should have considered that.
It's a good question.
So I have some fun, just very fringe trades where I want to see if you guys can tell me where this person is currently rostered.
Ooh,
okay.
Good one.
The first one I want to say, where is Jonas Valanciunas now?
No idea. Hell?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah. He got traded from the Washington Wizards
to the
Sacramento Kings.
Kangs.
Oh, the Kangs.
Okay.
Lithuanian.
Who is
brothers.
currently, where is Jusuf Nurkic currently rostered?
Juicy Nurk.
Juicy Nurk. Where is he currently rostered?
Juicy Nurky.
Where is Juicy Nurky?
You guys know?
I have no idea.
I don't. I could.
Wow. Okay. He's a Hornet.
Wow.
He's gonna get some burn there. Somebody's gonna trick themselves by what he does.
Yeah.
In Charlotte the rest of this season, because he's gonna average like 12, 9, and 6.
Yeah.
Promise.
Someone else got traded to the Hornets. I can't remember who it was that I saw, but I was thinking the same thing. Like, oh, actually, this could be very good for their career.
People are going to trick themselves.
All right, next one.
Juicy Nurky.
Where is Kevin Porter Jr. currently rostered?
Up your butt.
Where was he, Taylor?
Nice. Where was he? On the Clippers?
Yep. Now where is he?
I don't know where he is now.
He's currently a Milwaukee Buck.
God, that is
yuck.
That one, you know, I thought
Milwaukee
the Kuzma
yuck.
one was the beginning
Milwaukee
of the end.
yucky.
That's a signal. That's a cry for help, honestly.
Yeah.
That's such a bad deal. Him and Kuzma. Like, could we find
they're in trouble.
two?
Also, Giannis's statements this week about, I know he didn't mean it the way it came out, but saying that his dream is that all of the European players are in the major markets. I was like, okay, Giannis is going to LA or New York soon.
Yeah, for real.
He's out. What is the thought behind getting Kuzma and KPJ?
I don't know. I mean, to me, anybody that deals for those players is not a good general manager.
Is the simple thought just we need scorers?
I guess, but I mean, if you, or maybe you just have a bad scouting department. I don't know, but like I those are just the kinds of players I would never ever trade for. Just never. Like, there's no circumstance where I'd want either of those guys, especially KPJ. Like, he is just he's one of the top known losers in the NBA today.
Yeah,
like he just truly is.
Oh yeah,
I was so glad when the Clippers got him.
Yeah, because you tank commander.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my last one, just because it was shocking to me. What team had James Wiseman, and now what team has James Wiseman?
That's a good one.
Especially because did he tear his Achilles?
He did.
So he's been injured all year. But where was he and where is he now?
I don't even know. I haven't thought of him.
I didn't think
year.
he was in the NBA still.
I haven't thought of him all year.
He was
either of the teams the Bulls?
No, he was an Indiana Pacer.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is a Toronto Raptor.
Yeah.
James Wiseman, what a weird career that guy's had.
That's my favorite part about trade deadline is the amount of players I forgot were in the NBA. Like, I didn't know that Cody Zeller was still in the NBA.
Yeah. He hasn't played a game. I think he's been at home all season.
And this whole the Marcus
Still
Smart
at home.
one. Talk about
still at home.
Listen to the players that are in the Marcus Smart deal. This is my the penultimate
What's that 4-team trade?
So it was only 3 teams. It was the Kings, the Grizzlies, and the Wizards.
Yeah.
The Wizards get Marcus Smart. Okay, we knew he was in the NBA, but he hasn't played a lot. Alex Len, throwback.
Yeah, big throwback.
Anybody remember where he went to college?
A place where
I don't know
wore
why I
red.
remember this. Maryland. Yeah, for some reason.
I knew red.
Colby Jones. The Grizzlies get Johnny Davis,
Yeah.
Wow.
Marvin Bagley in a future second round.
It's like the all-star like bust.
And then the Kings get Jake LaRavia.
Yeah, that's just bad. I mean, the Grizzlies walk away from this like looking pretty bad. Like they're having to like pay for their sins right now.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I guess they just the Marcus Smart thing just wasn't it for him. So they just
the reason that they traded him basically as a salary dump is so that they can have cap space to pay Triple J this summer. Is why they did all of that, because in order to extend him, they need to have cap space.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're doing there. And as a Grizzlies fan, LaRavia has been good for them this year, and that's a bummer. They've got a lot of nice players, but LaRavia they messed up his deal too, because they declined his 4th-year option on his contract, and now they can't pay him what he could get paid on the market. So they basically had to trade him.
Market smart.
Or else they would just have to let him walk. But I would also just be tempted just to let him play on my team through the rest of the season and just see how it goes. I mean, he's shooting 44% from 3 for them this year and has been pretty good for them off the bench.
Wow, he's been averaging over 20 points a game.
Huh?
LaRavia.
LaRavia?
Yeah.
No.
Not one.
I'm sorry. Did I say points? I meant minutes. I was looking at minutes.
Like it would have been. Say what? Stat of the year.
I promise I meant minutes. I did not think Jake LaRavia was scoring 20 points per game.
Hey, what? Don't look, Taylor.
Oh,
what's John Morant's stat line this season?
35
minutes or points.
I don't know the difference.
I don't really care about the minutes.
Oh, not 35 minutes per game.
What's he scoring? Let's say 22.
Okay.
A game.
I'm going high 20. I think when he's played, he's scored a lot.
Let's do points, rebounds, assists.
Rebounds, we're going to go 4 rebounds a game and 6 assists a game.
I'm going to flip that. 6 assists, 4 rebounds.
I'm going to go 3 rebounds.
Huh? You didn't flip it at all.
I'm so confused. Is that not what I said? So you want 6 rebounds, 4 assists?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip that. I'm gonna go 4 points.
6
minutes.
I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna flip the points.
4 points.
I'm gonna flip the points to the rebounds.
4.6 minutes.
22 rebounds.
28 rebounds, and I'm gonna go 1.5 assists.
He's 24 and 7 this year. Is what he's averaging.
But is that 7 assists or rebounds?
7 assists.
Or fouls?
Wait, what's 4? Are you saying 24 points or 4 rebounds?
7 screen assists is actually the stat that I'm trying to read.
Obscure stat to match with points.
It's just funny. Like you could make. I mean, J-Dub is averaging 21, 5 and 5. Like I think J-Dub's had a better season than John Morant, who was ascending to be what some people thought was like the best player in the NBA.
Yeah. 2 years ago, before all of the both personal mess and then the injury rest of the season, like he really was. The narrative around Ja was insane.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Or was that 3 years ago?
It's too loud.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I mean 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Yeah, it was 3 years ago. He was 7th in the MPP voting.
Mm-hmm.
He was averaging 27 points, 5 boards, 7 assists, and a steal. I mean, this is interesting because he went from 27 points to 26 points to 25 points to 20 points. And some of it is injury and some of it is just like the off the court weirdness that has existed there. But it's just something to monitor. He's only played 30 games this season too. I mean, it's
definitely when he's played though, he's looked like he's had those Ja plays.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where he scored like Ja scores. I think it's just the inconsistency. And I think if he can get healthy and if he is more mature, then we could see him again.
What's his season high this year in points?
32.
Yeah, 35.
That's exactly correct. 32.
How'd you know that, Jay?
Exactly
just a guess.
Wow.
32 is his season high.
Go buy a lottery ticket.
He's just had.
Tell him I want the number 32. No.
32 across the board.
They're like, Jay, you need 8 numbers. You say no.
All
I just
32s?
need 32.
I don't know.
32 4 times. Something
to watch for me is just like what happens with Ja's career here, because like Jaren Jackson's averaging more points than him.
Mm-hmm.
And like Jaren's a good player. Jaren's a really good player, in fact. And like the deserving all-star on that team. And some of that is just the time that Ja has missed. But I don't think that 2 years ago there would have been a world that you have said that Jaren Jackson is going to be the best player on this Memphis Grizzlies team moving forward.
No way. It's just
interesting.
Do you think that though?
I do absolutely think that. Yes.
You think right now Jaren Jackson Jr. is the best player on them?
100%.
If Ja was healthy and was back, and
he's in the 30 games that he has been healthy, he is not to me, he has not been like the best player. And also showing up and playing 50 games.
Yeah.
Actually matters too.
I mean, even 2 years ago, we were thinking, 2 years ago, Desmond Bane was like, oh, is Desmond Bane one of the best two guards in the league?
He's a really good player as
What's
well.
funny is we're saying all this and they're still second in the West.
I know.
They have a really good team.
Like that's why it's actually almost more impressive that they aren't as.
I agree.
Like it doesn't make as much sense that they're winning at this level.
I agree. We have not talked about AJ Mitchell.
Yeah.
He signed to a 2-year, $6 million extension or contract. I mean,
what a deal.
Great deal for him. It's less years than other guys have signed in the past off these two-way deals. I think some of that is that he probably wants to get out on the market because I think he can make more than $3 million a year.
Yeah, it makes sense if you're AJ Mitchell and AJ Mitchell's agent.
Yeah.
Right. To be like, oh, you've shown that actually you're going to be really good in the league. So yeah, take this contract, take the shorter deal, and let's get more money sooner.
Yeah.
So excuse my ignorance here on this. Is this including this year?
I need to figure that out. I believe it is.
So he gets paid $3 million, probably it wouldn't be prorated. He's going to get $3 million
It
for
depends.
this year.
It could be prorated.
Okay.
There have been cases. The Thunder will do these guys a solid, and they will
Just pay him the
Lindy
full.
Waters' deal, for example. When he got the $2 million deal, most teams prorate it.
They just got the whole thing.
They gave him the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what they did with AJ here, but also the thing about it is like the Thunder are going to have draft picks coming in.
Oh yeah.
A lot.
They have Nikola Jokic. They're going to have a chance to pick multiple guys in this next draft.
Yeah.
You eventually are going to have to make decisions on guys that you really like. Now they don't have to do it now, but this AJ deal, I don't know how it all came together, but they at least get to keep him, for the time being, and we'll have a chance to keep him. We'll have it. Yeah,
he's trying to leave quietly. See you, Taylor.
No,
we'll have a chance to have
impossible.
him moving forward.
Scoot closer, Jay, to each other.
I mean, it probably makes sense.
Can't make Andrew scoot over.
I definitely can't scooch.
I was trying to look at
but it's a great deal for him. A guy that was a second round pick to get that money this year, and a guy that was a two-way player. In fact, I mean, to go from the two-way contract to the standard deal is a huge deal.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Yeah.
He is awesome. I really, really like him as a person and clearly as a player as well.
I like you guys as persons.
Shout out. I like you.
As of right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder would have the 7th pick, the 17th, and the 19th in this year's draft.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what all happens over the next couple of years. They're going to have to churn the roster at least a little bit here and there, but it's a good place to be for the Thunder. They also brought Brandon Carlson back on a two-way contract, and you just kind of thought that's what's going to happen. We had thought that originally. I think we've talked about it on this show, that it's the thing that made the most sense. And his 10-day expired quietly on Saturday, and there was like not a peep about it, which just kind of made you think like, oh, he's coming back. Because a lot of times those guys 10 days will expire, and then it's like now he's back on Raptors 905 is like where he was assigned to, and so he would have had to go back to the Raptors, but there was no word about it, so they just kind of let him hang out until this deal got done. And I think also with the trade that they made, I think that everybody was just kind of waiting to see if there was anything else that could happen.
You think the Thunder kicked the tires on anything.
I mean, I think they do their due diligence on everything, certainly.
They took some calls.
But I also think that they value this team and what they have built, and that the fact that most of these guys have like risen together, like they value that so much. Because if we're talking about making a trade, we're talking about having to trade Kenrich Williams, or having to trade
Wiggins,
Aaron
Joe,
Wiggins, or Isaiah Joe, or these guys that
Kathan.
they have. And this all sounds so cheesy, and sometimes I hate talking about it because it does sound cheesy, but it's actually real. Like they have all those guys have that like Thunder DNA.
Yeah.
And that all those guys that I listed were guys that were, you know, in their final year in college. If you would have said they're going to be working at a car dealership in 3 years, like I don't think anybody would have been that surprised. Like these guys weren't guaranteed guys to make it to the league. Like they just weren't, or they'd be overseas or whatever. Like these guys that I just listed in Kenrich, Joe, Wiggins, like they're either undrafted or second round picks that have either been given up on by somebody else, in Isaiah Joe's case, you know, traded as like just whatever with Kenrich Williams. And then Aaron Wiggins was the 55th pick in the draft. Like these guys weren't supposed to be.
It is
here.
crazy if you go through the Thunder, like their roster, and look at how many of the guys, and y'all, I can't remember which game it was, but we talked about the fact that like Chet is the only one that was drafted in the top 5.
Yeah.
Or top 10.
Yes. He's literally the only one in the top 10. And so many of these guys have fought. I mean, Lugens Dort's another one.
Undrafted free agent. So that's what it's going to do is like, if you look at the rotation. So Kaysen, lottery pick. J-Dub, lottery pick. Joe, where was Joe drafted?
He was a second round pick.
Wiggins, second round pick.
Dort undrafted.
Kenrich undrafted. AJ Mitchell, second round pick. Isaiah Hartenstein, second round pick. Alex Caruso, undrafted. Oos, lotto pick. Jay Will, second rounder. You know, like
that's crazy.
Pretty wild.
I mean, they have that Thunder DNA where they work, they have crazy work ethic.
Yeah.
They are unselfish.
Yeah.
Their personalities, I can attest to almost every one of these guys that these are like just good people.
Well, that comes through in like their post game stuff and like just the way that
Absolutely.
they're like supporting each other.
And it is genuine too. I know a lot of people that are outside like Thunder fandom will like hate on these guys for the way they handle that, but it's truly genuine. And so I think that you don't want to disrupt that.
Yeah.
And you want to do whatever you can to protect that as long as you can have it. Because the truth is, like the NBA, the money, the everything about it is going to infiltrate this team at some point. And it happens to every single team. And you want to protect it and you want to keep it going as long as you possibly can. And I think that's what they did at the trade deadline.
Because I think you could throw a personality on that team that would like immediately kill that vibe. Like,
100%.
Can you imagine like putting like Jimmy Butler on this team?
Oh, it would be a disaster.
It would wreck it.
In fact, like the Gordon Hayward thing was probably as like the closest thing that's happened to this team where it's like, wait a minute.
He didn't fit it at all.
He didn't fit it, didn't want to be here, didn't play like he wanted to be here. I mean, it was not good.
Did not
like,
buy in.
You don't want to risk doing that again, especially when you're bringing Chet back.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to give J-Dub a bigger role on your team, especially when you have a guy who can literally put up 50 every single Wednesday. Like you don't have the shots. You don't have what some players are going to want when they get here. Gordon Hayward didn't get what he wanted. He wanted a bigger role. They didn't have that to offer him. I think the same thing would have gone for Cam Johnson. And also, like Cam Johnson's still a net, by the way. Like if things don't go right and maybe they were after him, I don't have any indication that they actually were. But if that was a thing, he's still gonna be out there this summer. So, like,
and you could make the Thunder could make some moves. I mean, I would anticipate that they're gonna make some moves at the draft. Like we just mentioned, they have 3 draft picks in a draft. They don't have 3 positions, or roster positions.
Yeah,
you know, wanting a bigger role. That's me at Texas Roadhouse.
Gosh,
can we make the roles bigger?
I wish they're bigger.
That would actually kind of be awesome.
And you just pick it apart like monkey bread.
Just one giant roll.
Give me more.
I would like
butter.
a bigger roll.
Can you also melt down that cinnamon butter and inject it directly into
That's a good idea.
Into my bloodstream.
Sorry.
Honestly,
put it in an IV.
That's a good bit. where it's like for the table, we'll have one big roll.
We'll take one roll.
You know,
It
it has
just comes out
that at the Jones, they have like a triple dip thing, and it's just one big thing, and you tear it
Yeah,
off.
it's like the puff. It's like the puff.
I like
bread
it.
thing. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I like
one
their
big
pimento
roll.
cheese. Jones Assembly is an underrated brunch spot too.
Because when they first opened, their
Their
food was not
biscuits.
very good, and then it's gotten better.
Yeah.
And
Progressively better.
people like have kind of slept on.
Although it's always pretty packed.
It's true.
You know.
So
fine.
the All-Star teams the All-Star draft was last night. Did you guys watch this?
No,
I didn't watch it,
You
but I
guys
did see
locked-
the teams.
You guys locked in on this?
how are there? So
Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck are the coaches, GMs for these teams, and
is this for the actual?
this is for the All-Star game.
But
Yes.
how are there 3 teams?
Well, L-Man, it's a new format this year, my brother.
God,
It was so bad last year.
What does explain?
They do like a round robin or something. What do
Yeah,
they do?
I'll
They
pull
play
up.
each other.
You know what? Here's the deal. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. I mean, I'll probably watch that more than I would the other one.
I mean,
Mainly 'cause Dub's
and-
there.
Until you watch it for 5 minutes, you're like, oh, okay. Well, it doesn't matter how you repackage this thing. Like no one's trying. So Chuck's team: Jokic, Giannis, Shea, Wemby, Pascal, Şengün, Towns, and Donovan Mitchell. It's like, how did they let him do this? Because then you look at like Kenny's team: Ant, Brunson, Jaren Jackson, J Dub, Garland, Mobley, Cade Cunningham, Tyler Hero.
I mean, it's Chuck.
That's just gross. Shaq is LeBron, Steph, AD, Tatum, Durant, Lillard, Harden,
This is what
Jalen
you know.
Brown.
What this tells me that it's fixed, and it's going to be Team Chuck versus Team Chuck.
Yeah,
That's what it's
the
gonna
Kenny
be.
team is so
They
bad.
said, "Hey, Team Kenny, like you're not making
The
you're
team,
not playing
the team
the end of
Kenny
the ga-
is
game."
is just so brutal. Jalen Brown, by the way, last player selected in this draft.
I'm sure that really helps his ego after the Olympics.
He's just always just hated on. The guy who won the Finals MVP is always hated on. But yeah, I'll watch because I'm a sicko and I watch. And
For the first time, the NBA All-Star Game will feature a mini tournament with 4 teams and 3 games. 2 teams will meet in one semifinal and the remaining 2 teams, but there's only 3 teams.
So they're all playing.
Is there a G League team?
Yeah, it's a G League team.
Are they all playing these
How-
games
why?
on Saturday? So there's like
No, it's all Sunday.
Sunday.
all Sunday. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
talk
each
to me about the dunks. Who's
each-
dunking?
Each
Shorter
team
games.
will have 8 players
Even
to
worse.
be named.
What?
The 24 NBA All-Star selection will be divided evenly into 3 teams with the roster drafted by TNT's insiders. And then the 4th team will be the winning team from the championship game of the Castrol. Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
it's the Rising
Yeah.
Stars.
It could be the G League team. I'm sorry.
I got a name for his band, Shay's band.
Yeah, what is it?
Slipknot.
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 I mean,
So yeah, I forgot about that element. That could be kind of fun.
technically, you could see Carson,
You could Carson.
Jalen Wilson, and Shea Gilgis.
So talk to me about that. Why you said the dunks?
It's
Matt
Matas
McClung. He's going to win again. It doesn't
Andre
matter.
Jackson Jr., Mac McClung, and Stephon Castle. Are you pumped for the dunk contest?
Nope.
Isn't that so bad?
Best part of the All-Star weekend is the 3-point contest every single year. Have they announced who's doing that?
they have not released that yet.
You think Isaiah Joe gets in?
Think any of those guys?
I think he's probably snubbed again.
Dude hasn't missed a 3 since December.
You think
he's
any of
been
those
so
guys
good.
are going to dunk over a mid-sized
Unbelievable.
sedan?
Yeah, probably. Matt McClung. Who knows what he's going to
I
do?
bet it doesn't.
That's what he does. All he does is
Matt-
dunk.
I mean, they need to stop. And this is not Mac McClung's fault, but they need to stop putting him in the dunk contest because he is essentially just a professional dunker.
Yeah,
Like he's
or-
one of those guys on YouTube that
That's
will
what I
beat
think-
all these guys.
I
Like,
think
that's
the
what he
option
is.
for me is I'm like, just take the NBA players out of it and just make it bring in dunkers from all over or have two different competitions.
No, what we need,
It's just embarrassing.
what we need is for some of these NBA All-Stars to have some courage and just do it.
But they need to put like the winner needs to get like
$10 million.
$10 million. Yeah, exactly. So like guys want to do it, so they win.
100%.
You know, but then the guys don't want to lose. You know?
I mean, like if Anthony Edwards like should be in the dunk contest. If Anthony Edwards was playing in the 90s, he would be in the dunk contest, or even in the 2000s. I mean, Kobe Bryant did the dunk contest.
But they just don't.
Michael Jordan did the dunk
what do they
contest.
win?
Dominique Wilkins.
What do they win?
Now I don't know. It's probably $1 million or something. I don't know what it is.
We gotta up that number. We gotta up that.
Yeah, I mean,
number.
maybe that would work. Maybe that would work.
Let's
but
say if we did
it's
one
a disaster
next year, and it was like, hey, the winner of the dunk contest gets like one first. It's like a tournament, and it's like, but you
They've
have
done
to
the dunk
qualify for
tournament
it.
before.
But the winner gets $20 million.
Yeah, like if you did something like that, I think that you would get guys,
And
that
they
are
all have
actually
to,
good
and
it.
they all have to live in a mansion for the month before.
It just turns into a reality show.
Yes,
I like it.
they're all on an island, and they also have to survive.
I mean, like, why is like Amin Thompson not in the dunk contest?
Some of us I always wonder, like, if people
You
even
know?
get asked.
Absolutely, they get asked.
they're
Absolutely, they do.
Never to do it.
100%.
That is so weird.
They
that
never to do
This is who you. I mean, Stephon Castle could be good.
He could be good. The thing is that he won't beat Mac McClung though, because McClung is
A professional dunker.
He's
You said it.
that's all he
That's
is.
right. You're right.
It's not. It's an unfair advantage. They need to stop putting him. It's honestly embarrassing having him.
Yeah. Watch all these NBA guys get beat by a guy that is not an NBA player.
I've stood next to Mac McClung. He is shorter than me. It is anything he does is impressive just because.
Do you
he's
think
so
with your
small.
new
But he
knee
can
that
jump-
you'll be
I mean,
able to dunk like
He
him?
can jump higher
He
too.
can
Right
jump
now.
a whole lot higher. Dude,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not permitted to jump until like October.
Really?
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well,
How's PT going?
It has been awful.
You do it through McBride.
it's been
Yeah.
awful.
This has been way harder than I thought it would be. Like this has been so much harder than I had anticipated. So I'm getting there though. It's getting a little better every day.
Slap his knee.
But it's just been
No.
dude, it has been
He has so many wires. I
It's been
can't tell
so
when
terrible.
the computer starts and your knee.
The bionic knee
I'm turning
starts.
into just like
Stops.
this bionic man. Let's do some TQs before we get out of here. Oh man.
Okay, let's do it.
On Twitter
Have to do a little rapid fire. You got questions and you ask them on Twitter.
These are Twitter questions. Let's get down to it. Okay.
I think we could do Dan Mayon's question, but maybe like give our like top 3. We're obviously not going to rank all these guys.
Rank. Oh, okay. At Dan Meyer. No, wants to know rank OC. Okay. Wants to rank OKC players.
Okay.
Who were on the roster but never played.
Yeah, so like Daniel Tice, Alec Burks, James Johnson. This is a funny list. Danny Green, Vincent Poirier, who was in Boston, nicknamed affectionately Vinny Sexpants. Zylan Cheatham, Josh Gray. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Josh Gray. Trevor Ariza, Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, Jalen LeCue. Remember LeCue? Crazy dunker. TJ Leaf, Myers Leonard, Austin Rivers, Kemba Walker, Maya Oni, KZ Apala, Jermichael Green, Mo Harkless.
I'm gonna
give me Ricky Rubio.
I'm gonna give Ariza.
Yeah, who played after that?
A lot of them did.
Danny Green.
Danny Green did. Kelly Oubre did, obviously.
Still playing, yeah.
Yeah.
Kemba Walker he's up there.
He gave one more year.
Yeah.
That was it.
I know.
I mean, you probably should put Kelly Oubre at the top of it just because he is like a legit NBA player, but they did flip him for an asset.
That was all like a fever dream. I don't remember anything that was taking place when they were just like in the real throes of the rebuild where they were getting guys and moving guys and adding guys and changing guys. It was like,
it was amazing. Like that,
so many movements.
Can you imagine like the work that the front office had to do on like all of that? Because it wasn't just like one team they're calling about these guys. I mean, they're calling across the entire league trying to figure this out. Like that is a crazy time. But
they probably started a group chat.
Give me Ricky Rubio at the top of it though. I just like Ricky Rubio.
And that was before Cleveland?
Before Cleveland, I think. Honestly, I don't know.
After the Jazz.
Yes. God, he was so good for the Jazz.
He was.
So he played for Phoenix. That's who it was. Phoenix, and then Minnesota, and then Cleveland. He had he played legitimate minutes, after he was off the Thunder. He played 4,000 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a Twitter question for you. It comes from @WillOKC, who says, Andrew, please, please, please answer this. I love your show so much. You are one of my favorite people in the world.
Wow.
Okay. So I have the Thunder going 67-15. Is that realistic?
I mean, listen, they've lost 9 games up until this point of the season. They're getting Chet back. They have the best defense by a mile right now. And you're adding who I think is their most impactful defender back on the team. I think that losing 4 games is definitely realistic. I would probably pick them to win 65 or 66 games. So we're right in line. And if they only lost 4 games the rest of the season, that would not be a shocking development to me. I think they probably win 65, 66, and they probably lose 6 games. But if they lost, or no, I'm sorry, they probably lose 8 games is what I'm saying. But if they lost 6 games here, which is what you're predicting, then I think that's outrageously realistic. Honestly, I think that's probably in line with what the metrics would say even.
So you're not say they're going to have any growing pains?
Dude, I again, we're not adding somebody in that needs to learn the Thunder.
Are they going to have any growing pains?
Oh, growing pains.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to predict.
I mean, to lose 6 games.
Does that feel like a lot?
In the last 33?
33. Yeah, isn't that great that Chet gets to play 33 games at the team?
But I'm
be on the active roster for 33 games.
They would have a way worse percentage to finish the year.
I know.
Is that right? It's close to it.
Yeah, and just looking at their remaining schedule of the tough teams that they have to play, it's possible that they lost. But yeah, I think losing 6 more games is probably right in line with where they'll be, because they play Boston once more. They play Memphis 3 times. They play Denver twice. They play the Rockets 2 more times, the Lakers twice. And those are their toughest games remaining. They do have the Pelicans 2 more times, the Jazz 2 more times, the Hornets once more, the Toronto Raptors tonight. They have Brooklyn once more, and then they have Philly, which Philly's on the bad list right now, but Philly's weird.
So am I correct looking at that? They do not play the Warriors again?
Not necessarily true, because they're in the middle. So these are just the top,
top and the bottom.
the top and the bottom teams that they play. So the Thunder have the 14th ranked strength of schedule for the remaining games. They're just smack dab in the middle.
I like that.
And so, yeah,
I like that.
I think you're right on, Will.
Good job. Hey, you remain one of his favorite people on the planet.
Wow. Thank you, Will.
It's high praise.
Too kind.
Hey, I got a question. Are you miffed and
Miffed and peeved.
You guys miffed and are you peeved?
No. I had something I thought, but I don't know.
No.
Are you grateful and blessed?
Grateful?
Yeah, man. I'm right in the middle of both of those realities.
You're nothing.
Things are okay. I'm just kind of
apathetic.
Just kind of right there in the middle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you apathetic and
bored? No, that's not it either.
It's great.
Apathetic and bored.
Bored. What about you all? You miffed and peeved?
I'm just man.
Yeah.
It's the weather.
I know.
Weather. Get up.
We'll
Remember
talk about the
Monday?
weather.
Yeah, Monday.
Remember Monday? It's 80 degrees.
Sunday.
We haven't seen the sun since Monday.
Yeah. That'll do it to you.
Oh man.
That'll do it to you. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I am GMB. Yesterday we did a live stream from 6:30 a.m. until 4 o'clock yesterday.
I jumped on a few times.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. It was a lot. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
It was good content.
It went very well. We had tons of people hop on.
It annoys me. I'm going to be honest with you that I jump on YouTube, and I've said this before. So this is my miffed and peeved.
Yeah, there you go.
My son is
My son is
really into YouTube NBA guys.
Yeah.
Cool. But
Cool.
I'm watching yesterday, and The Athletic is streaming, and then there's like some random dude streaming.
I know.
And it's like you have, I think at the peak a few times I was there, it was like 1,000 people streaming The Athletic one.
Yeah.
And then like 5,000 streaming some
say,
dumb that's just over there like making up stuff.
I know.
I'm like, how?
Part of it is like I can't talk a whole lot about it on this show, but like part of it is like we're still developing our YouTube page is like part of that.
Yeah, these guys, the guys that do it, this is so part of it is what the medium is, right? So for you all, podcasting and writing has been the medium.
Yes.
For these guys, all they do is podcast.
All they do is just
all they do is video.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have lots of graphics and they have a lot of videos. And I mean, but I'm watching. I'm like, why would somebody watch? Like, because I'm literally over the course of a day, you had what, 20 guests, maybe more?
We had 40. I
You
believe.
had 40 guests, and of those 40, all of them cover the NBA
and
for the teams,
and
in the locker rooms, in the conversations,
Yep.
know the GMs, know the players.
Yep.
And then you have this guy that just is like staring at a camera, making up stuff.
Mhm.
And it's like 5,000, 6,000, 10,000
I
views. And
know.
it's like, what in the world?
It is a weird world.
You need to really get like a good thumbnail for it, for the thing.
You think that's the...
If you're going like...
I know, you have to like confused faces.
Confused face? It's like, they traded who? And people are like, I gotta click that.
Dude, it is so funny.
Like, are they cooked?
Yeah,
That's
it
what
is.
you need to do.
I know. It is so funny. It's so goofy.
Yeah, that's
The
what
way
you need.
All that works. I
Um,
know. You just feel so cheesy doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
I refuse to like go like full YouTuber on stuff, even though it would probably help.
More like you, goober.
Are you stalking your family?
No, I'm just making sure my son got out of the house okay.
Seems like Jay has his house fully camered up.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's like Fort Knox.
Listen, guys, Chet Holmgren is going to play tonight against the Raptors here in OKC. I'm so excited to see like
we
got to do the belt.
Let's do the belt. What do you think?
I feel like it's unfair that we did this to Taylor since he's...
Hey, you snooze, you lose.
You snooze,
snooze,
you lose.
No, he can text. He's gonna cut someone off with their. We'll text him and get a thing.
So, what game do y'all want to do? So, over the next week, up until next time we meet, the Thunder play the Grizzlies. They play the Raptors tonight, the Grizzlies Saturday, the Pelicans Monday, the Heat Wednesday, and then they have a back-to-back, Heat and Timberwolves Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
So 2 back-to-backs over the course of this next week. Tonight, tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Thursday.
Shall we do the Grizzlies since it's like
that's the one that makes the most sense.
matchup?
Let me give you the line. What's BetMGM? We'll just make up what BetMGM says. BetMGM's line is
like +4 or something.
Yeah, this doesn't have it for some reason. Or I can't find it.
What to say?
Anyway.
I don't care about the line. I'm saying Thunder +10.
Okay.
Nope. 15.
Oh. I'm gonna go Thunder plus. I'll stick with 10 actually. With your initial one.
Thunder by 12.
Yeah. Right in the middle.
And Taylor says Thunder by 40.
Might win it.
Okay. That will be God. I'm so excited to see Chet play on this team again. It's just ridiculous. It's gonna be so much fun to see how they play together. So L-Man, you said by 20.
I said 15.
You said 15. Okay. And then
Jay said 10.
Jay said 10. I said 12. And Taylor said 40. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much for listening to our show. Hope everybody's doing great. Enjoy the game tonight. Enjoy this team. It is like don't forget to enjoy watching this basketball team. I'll just say that because they are an absolute joy to watch on a night-to-night basis. So
enjoy
hope you guys
life.
Just enjoy your life. I mean,
Enjoy life.
Come on.
Enjoy each other.
Yeah. Miguel Devella says thumbnail. Podcaster tears ACL while potting. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday.
That's one of those which I was